Stampers, it's super awesome stamper Shirley Merker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, USA. Sorry I can't demonstrate my projects live today. I'm in a location where I don't trust the internet connection, so I thought I'd do a YouTube video instead. So in my video, I will step you through how to assemble the kits. So one kit featured the ice cream cone paper. And then the second kit featured dragonfly punches and either purple or pink accents. So it's the same basic layout for each kit, just different patterns of paper and punches. So go ahead and open up your envelope and see what you got. And I am just going to step you through where all the pieces go. But before we start stepping, I'm going to pull out the stamp set. So I asked you to also purchase the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. You could purchase the coordinating punch, so that's where I got all of the ice cream dollops and the cone shapes. But I'm going to stamp a few things on the background. I know this paper is really busy, but when you do some stamping, it just adds another dimension to just the paper and the ribbon layer. So I've got my Blackberry Bliss ink pad, and I'm stamping on a piece of 12 by 12 basic white. So we sell assorted packs of colored cardstock in 12 by 12, but we also sell individually the basic white and the very vanilla. So my plan was I would stamp a You're Cool, You're So Cool, right there. And then I'm going to come in and do some assorted sprinkles. So this is a Calypso Coral, which is this color right here. There's kind of these coralish, flirty flamingo hues in the pattern paper, and Bermuda Bay. So my idea was to just see where those empty white spots are and kind of fill those in. And then you can decide if you like that look or not. And if you didn't purchase the stamp set, I'm sure you've got something in your stash that you can use to create little splotches and pieces of interest. Okay, so that was the Calypso Coral. And then I'm going to come in and do some Bermuda Bay. So I'm just going around where the pattern paper won't be. So kind of matting those pattern papers. Ooh, I'm liking this better already. And I think, see, with stamping, you can just get a little crazy and creative. That's what I like about it. Every time it looks a little different. I'm going to put some right here. So we get some Bermuda Bay in the opposite corners. All right, and then, you know what? I might stick some Bermuda Bay, just a few in this corner too. Just to pull it in. And you know what? I think I got some Bermuda Bay ink on my finger. What's stamping if you don't get inky fingers, right? All right. So then let's pull our pieces back in and see how well I did in placement. Not very good. There, there, there. This one right here I'm going to have to do over, but maybe not. Maybe I won't like it there. How about I just do some at the top? And I think the stamping just brings the frames of paper alive. Okay, that looks good to me. So I'm going to set this aside. We're going to leave the rest of this kind of as white space. Shut my ink pads up real quick so I don't get ink all over everything. And now pull back in your supplies, and we'll go through step by step where I placed all of the supplies. All right, so you got a piece of 6x6 pattern paper. Now this pattern paper has since retired since the kits went on sale. So if you want one of these kits, make sure you go to my blog at superawesomestamper.com and snap one of them up. It's the ice cream kit. And you may have received a 5x5 inch piece. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's a 5x5 inch piece of this rainbow glimmer paper. or receive some of this acetate paper in this pink and purplish, just depending on where you were in my supply stash, whether you got which pattern paper. And then next up, so packaged all your supplies in these cello bags, and you can reuse these cello bags to store your sample cards in, to mail things in. So don't throw them away, they are valuable. There's one supply packet. Let's pull the other one out. Here's the second one. And then the third one's got some sprinkles. So I didn't include those, I think, on my blog post, but these sprinkles are intended to add a little 3D dimension on your layout. I would attach those to your layout using our Tombow liquid glue. Just little dollops, and then place one of those confetti sprinkles over it and let it dry. All right, back to your supplies here. All right, so let me move this off a little more. We're working with that piece right now. So your 5x5 piece of either Rainbow Glimmer or the acetate. And then I've got a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 of the Bermuda Bay next. And then your 4x4 of the ice cream scoop with the conical waffle cone. And I placed it just like that. So that's how you would attach that one down. And I'm not going to add adhesive to my layers, just giving you the idea of where I went with the supplies that I'm sending you. Okay, so next we get the big one done. I always worry about doing the big pieces first and then doing everything else second. Got a lot of these little mats for smaller photos or journaling or fun little sentiments. Let's see here. So we got this pattern of 3x3 inch of this old olive dot. That gets one of the squares over it. And then everything else is just layering up to your taste. So we've got I'll pull this one back in, a Bermuda Bay square, or rectangle. And the cardstock is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. There's this one. And then, put this right here. And then the last purple posy, which is retired now. I must have given this kit 2 of them. I'm not sure if I accidentally gave everybody 2 extra, just this one got an extra one accidentally. And then you just decide where you want. Oh, here we go. Here's the second purple posy piece. Then you decide where everything needs to go. All right. Here's the stripe. So over the cinnamon cider. Here's a little strip of the old olive dot. A white over that. And then since this kit got the rainbow glimmer, they got their piece of rainbow glimmer to go over that. So there's that one. You may have to stop and restart if you're making a kit along with me, because I'm just going through and showing you what I layered. So Bermuda Bay with the stripe pattern and the popsicle in the front. There's that one. And then a basic white over that. Here's the purple posy. Purple posy gets one of these stripes. And then a white one over that. And then the last purple posy, where to put all this, there we go, gets the melted popsicle and the calypso and the yellows right there. And a white over that. And then what am I missing here? I have an extra white piece, and I think I included it so you could put it over that. You may or may not have an extra white piece in your kit. Not sure if it just stuck together accidentally. All right, so I'm going to move these around a little bit. Make sure I'm still on the screen. Yep, I am. So let's work on layering all these up with the rest of the ribbons. All right, so the cinnamon cider twill ribbon. Got one really long one, and I just created a bow with that one, and I have 2 shorter pieces. So I just created a bow with that really long one. So bow is bunny ears, one loop goes through that center hole and pull it through. And then clip off the ends. If you like flat ends, that's fine, but I like my tail so that the longer tail is closer to me. The shorter tail is closer to the loops. Longer tail's on the outside. So it forces the eye to look up and into the loops. Okay, so that's what I did with the long piece. And then we were working on cinnamon cedar twill. All right, one piece is formed into a V shape to make a twill cone. A twill triangular cone. Something like that. I'm going to hold this up to the camera. Can you see that? So I would recommend that you lay some adhesive down on one side, or lay your adhesive down in a V, and then just pull your tail back and fill in the center. That's all that I did, tucked it into the center. And then look through your pile of punch scoops that I gave you, and you should have one with a old olive dot. And that's what goes over that one. All right, let's do this one next. Look in your pile of ribbon sniblets. And for this one, I just did a V off of the ice cream there. And again, I already cut that one at a V, so let's kind of economize. So just do a sniblet V. There we go. So that just brings your eye into the cone. Find one of your scoops, whichever scoop you want up, and then find one of your ice cream cones, whichever ice cream cone you want up. And use your tear and tape, your glue dots to adhere all that down. So there's that one. The next one we kind of layered as we went, as I laid everything out. So see on my sample I did it on an angle like that. Okay, and then the 3x3 square. So I punched a 2-inch circle punch and made it flat on the bottom, you know, didn't do a first full circle so we can make a dish. And then I just layered up some of the scoops around that. Decide again which scoops you want up. So there's a bowl of ice cream right there. And then the last one are the rest of your ribbon sniblets. Now I'm not sure exactly what I gave everybody. You could have gotten all these sniblets or different patterns, but all I did was lay all the sniblets across like this. I don't know, I just had the idea to add a lot of color to this square. Then you got a little bit of this left, which could just go right across there. So there's my sample, and then there's that one. But that's probably how I would, and probably put my bow right there. That's how I would lay out my ice cream pattern. And I really like all the stamping on the back, because it just brings out all the rest of the patterns on the layout. Check your snail mail box. You may have received your copy of the fall catalog and also the new celebration brochure from me if you purchased within the last few months from me. The celebration is a fun time. They're adding a summer edition this year. So celebration is a time where if you purchase at least $50, excluding shipping and tax, you earn a free exclusive product, and every $50 and $100 increments you earn free products. In addition, if you'd like to join my team, the Super Awesome Stampers, they offer free bundles as well when you join my team. And last, if you host a party meeting the minimum qualifying order, you receive a free host-only stamp set. So I can't show you any of the inside pages until the catalog goes live, but go to my blog at superawesomestamper.com on August 3rd for all the details. So we're, of course, going to add some stamping to my background Highland Heather. So I've got the Highland Heather ink. And then the Dragonfly Punch is what I use to include the Dragonfly Punches. There is a coordinating stamp set called Dragonfly Garden. So we're going to stamp some of these little mini dragonflies and also the coneflowers along the edge. So let me move that up so you can see what I'm doing, where I'm going. You can see how much it adds to a layout to add the additional layer of stamping. So you got 2 strips of these epoxy drops. Just set those aside for right now. And then I'm going to fill in, maybe in the center here with some of these, but dragonflies. They look like butterflies. You know what? No, they are dragonflies. Maybe just put some way over in the corners. There, just to kind of tie it in. All right, and then I have the You Are an Inspiration mounted on my block. And I'm just eyeballing the bottom edge of my image with the bottom of my stamp there. And I'm gonna grab my paper pack here. So you had the option to pick the purplish paper pack or the pinkish paper pack. So your patterns and what's included in each pack might be a little different than what's shown in the sample. Try to give you whatever's in the sample as close as I can, but sometimes that's not possible because Stampin' Up! Packages are papers for customers. So you get a lot of variety in a pack and not a lot of the same pattern in a pack. All right, so You're an Inspiration. And if I should do it at an angle. Nope, I'm going to try straight on. Look at that. Did pretty good. So I think I'm going to put that up there on that one. All right. Okay, so let me move a few things aside and we are going to layer up just like we did with the ice cream set. Match up your supplies with with my sample. All right, let's start with the largest paper first. Oh, and this is a pink kit, and I've got a purple kit in front of me that I did for the sample. All right, so the pink kit's got the peachy tone on the back, some acetate paper. Oh, you could have the silver up too if you wanted. Oh, let's do that. And then a piece of the Daffodil Delight cardstock, and that is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then a square piece of 4 by 4 inch of this, the pink. So gave it the pink pattern. We're gonna have the pink up. And then in the bottom of your envelope will be this fun, velvety looking mint macaron ribbon. So I intended that to go across the top right there. So there is that one. So let's move that aside. And again, I won't be adding any adhesive. That just takes time. I am just giving you the layers that I did to create the layout. All right, so now let's match up what's left in your kit. So grab the second kit. And so cardstock, cardstock, cardstock. And then, oh, this kit's got some greens. It's got 3 yellows though. So 1, 2, 3. So I intended the 3 yellows to go there. Yep. And then 1 to go there. And I think, so here is what I have up. I'm not sure. I think I like this up because I want to accent all these peachy and the yellow flowers on that pattern right there. Okay. All right, and then this one was just plain. It went on the side of the layout. I'll bring the layout back in when we're all done. All right, so now these 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, I said I was going to place that in the upper corner with my sentiment stamp. Or 2 1/4, let me check that. It's 2 1/2 by 2 1/2 inches. Down there, one down there. This has got a little bit of the acetate, goes there. And then your ribbon snivelets. You can do whatever you want with your snivelets. Again, I gave you coordinating colors. So, let's get my paper snips out. And just cut it in half. One goes there. One goes down there. Goes there, and one goes there. So I had 3 pieces of different types of ribbon. And then the scallop lace. I would try to find the center, but I probably don't want to cut it through a scallop. There. There. And there, I would adhere your ribbons down with some tear and tape strips or some thin tape runner. All right, now this kit we had pinkish tones, so I gave you pinkish dragonflies. So one would go up there, and you can decide which pattern you want up. Bermuda Bay dragonflies don't really coordinate with this color, but the pink does. One there. And then you got a whole mess of tiny dragonflies that you can put wherever you want. Tiny dragonflies and even the larger dragonflies attach. I would recommend with some kind of liquid glue. Our green glue would work best. And I think I gave you more dragonflies than what's on my sample. So maybe put one there and maybe one over the ribbon. So that's how I would assemble all of those pieces. So let's bring them back in, and I will just line up the purple one, or I will attach it, not attach, I will just lay them on the purple one. Kind of see the contrast. Maybe you would like your mats on a Highland Heather backer sheet. One like there, there, there. And then this last piece that doesn't have any additional embellishment, I just placed it into the center right there. Oh, I kind of like that at an angle. So these are just kind of some ideas for you to use up all your supplies that are included in your kits. I still have a few kits for sale. They'll be on sale for another day or two. So go to my blog at superawesomestamper.com and order your kit. So I gave you a couple of strips of the silver and the clear epoxy accents. Since they come on clear sheets, you can kind of go around your layout and see where you want to place them. Here's a quick catalog tour to show you where I got the products I used to create the kits. So in the annual catalog, page 23, it's got the Dragonfly Garden stamp set and the punch. If you purchase using the bundle item number, you get 10% off. Page 32 is the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. There is the coordinating ice cream cone builder punch as well. And then if you want to purchase 12 by 12 papers, you can purchase them according to our color families. So to look to see what colors are in the families, the color families are on page 22 and 123. And then the actual assortments are on page 126. You get 2 each of the 10 colors for the core assortments and 4 each of the 5 colors in the in colors. We do sell 12 by 12 in basic white and berry vanilla, page 136. And then the ribbons that I used today would be the Fresh Freesia Open Weave ribbon, page 139. Page 140, I used the Very Vanilla Scalloped ribbon and the Mint Macaron ribbon, in addition to a lot of other different ribbons for the ice cream suite. The droplets are on page 142, number 12, right there. And then if you want to purchase the punch individually, it's on page 147. And last, the ice cream cold builder punch is on page 149. Thanks for stamping with me today. Sorry I couldn't stamp with you live, but I didn't want to chance the internet connection where I'm at today. Make sure to go to my blog at superawesomestamper.com on August 3rd for all the details on the fall mini catalog and celebration brochures. You can place orders for product at my online store here, which is also accessed through my blog at superawesomestamper.com. While you're on my YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you're notified when I load new content. And we'll stamp with you soon. Bye!